Being pregnant with my first baby, I've been reflecting lately on my goal to have a positive first birth experience and why it's important to me. And I came up with 3 major reasons that I wanted to share with you. If you are pregnant too, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my pelvic health tips for new mamas. My first reason for wanting a positive first birth is that I want to be the best version of myself for my son once he's born. Having worked with moms who did not have a positive first birth, I know how it could dramatically affect my mental health in the postpartum period. You know what? Postpartum as it is already a challenging time because you're learning how to take care of a newborn, you are sleep deprived, your hormones are all over the place, and you're in the middle of shifting to a new identity as a parent, right? There is so much going on already. And if on top of that we add coping with birth trauma, it can easily make this journey so much more challenging. Not to mention that in my community anyway, it can be difficult to find mental health support resources to help you through this. And sometimes you just don't have the energy to address it right away, right? When you're in that space. So you end up suffering in silence for a long time. I just cannot imagine trying to take care of my son in these conditions. And the last thing I would want is for my mental health challenges to affect him or my family in any ways. My second biggest reason for wanting a first positive birth is that I want more kids in the future. And I want to look back at my birth experience and feel empowered and feel like I want to do it again. I'll always remember this client of mine who delivered a breech baby vaginally. And when I asked her how her birth was, she said, "I want to do it again." And I'll never forget the story, honestly. And when I heard her talking about her birth, what I thought was, I want to give birth to. I want to experience this at some point in my life. And I just felt so empowered by her story. But I also know of some women who wanted a big family and had a traumatic birth, right? They had to make the heartbreaking decision to say, you know what, I don't think I can do this again. And so they had to grieve that. And yeah, I think it would be a big thing for me if I had to give up on the idea of having more kids because I had such a bad experience with the first one. And the third reason is I do not want to be resentful toward my child. This is not something that is talked about very much, so that's why I want to bring it up. But when you experience birth trauma, it is possible that you may resent your child for what you went through and the consequences that you're still suffering from, right? This resentment can easily lead to feelings of guilt and shame because society tells us that we should fall in love with our baby right away and we should be so grateful for our healthy babies no matter what happened at birth. And it is not the kind of feelings that people talk about very much. So the moms who experience these feelings end up keeping everything in and isolating themselves. And you know what? Even moms who did not suffer birth trauma can experience these feelings as well. Not everyone falls in love with their baby from day one, and it is totally okay. You know, if I have a first positive birth to improve my chances of bonding with my baby after birth, even though I know it's not a for sure thing, that would be ideal. Now, I know it's pretty obvious that everyone wants a positive first birth, even if they have not reflected on the exact reasons why they want it. And I also know that no one chooses to have a traumatic birth either. What I know, though, is that we can influence the outcomes of our birth by having more education and knowledge about what our options are, how to best prepare mentally and physically for birth, and also how to advocate for ourselves when the big day comes. And honestly, I've worked with a lot of first-time moms inside my signature program, and they have reported feeling more in control during their birth because of that knowledge that they got from the program. So I know it is possible for you as well. That is how I feel about my birth. I don't feel scared. I feel empowered. I feel excited. I feel like I want to go through this experience. So I would love for you to feel the same. So if you're curious about my program, I would suggest that you start by taking my free masterclass to learn a little bit more about my approach and how I could help you. I'll put the link in the description below if you are into that. Thanks so much for hearing me on this topic, and I would love to hear your reasons for wanting a positive first birth in the comments below. We all have our reasons. I have mine. I'm sure you have others. So let me know what you're thinking. Thanks for watching.